Very good. Thank you for that. I think it's something we've all sort of rallied around, Alan. So great to hear. Any other announcements? All right. I'd like to move on to our program then. Our program tonight is somebody that made up with us here a couple of weeks ago, Doug Osee. He's a former congressman. I think I first met him when he was fighting against us in developing stuff in south of the Thomas back about 30 years ago. No, you don't want to remember that. Okay, good. That's fine. I had the pleasure also of working with Doug when I was involved in the city campaign for Art and Arcade, and he was giving us lots of advice on how to run our campaigns and so forth. And I got elected to a city that never got for us. So anyway, I did ask Doug to come speak to us tonight. I know he's been involved with the Gibson Ranch project for the last couple of years, and I kind of wanted to hear a little bit more about that. So let's give a warm Carmichael Rotary welcome to Doug Osee.
Jay, do you mind if I speak from back here?
That's fine.
Good.
You probably don't need the microphone, are you?
I'm not going to need the microphone. First of all, I want to thank you all for inviting me back. You were kind enough to have me here when Dutch Van Camp was here, and I appreciated the hospitality. While I was here, Jay said, why don't you come talk about this ranch? Tell us
I don't have anything going.
Out there.
Blank screen. I'll send in a text message.
I said, okay, sounds good. And Jay told me that he was this board's president, so and program director and everything else. And he said, you're on for August 19th. So here I am. Before I start, I do want to acknowledge a couple people in this group. First, Stan and Nan. Their son-in-law worked for me when I was in Congress before, Aaron Ferguson, who was actually. You know how you hire young people and you can just tell when you start talking to them that they're smarter than you are? There wasn't any doubt, and Aaron had the patience to bring me along slowly on many things. He's now working with one of the preeminent water law firms here in the state of California with a guy named Stuart Somack. And interestingly, Stuart cut his teeth in water law working for a guy named Martin McDonough, Paul and Alan, and Martin was a partner of my uncle's, so I feel responsible for everything Eric's done. So anyway, nice to see you. And also, Alan Galloway is here, and I can remember being young enough to be my grandson, knowing the Galloways and the imprint they put on this community, watching them prosper and meet the challenges amongst their family and amongst their friends, amongst their partners. So it's nice to see you. And I know there's a number of you that know my folks in one capacity or another. They're both fine. I was over there last night. My dad turned 90 on July 30th, and my mom turned 89 on August 9th. And they are still full of advice. And you know, it's always a pleasure to go over there. And so that's a status report. You know, it's interesting. You grow up in a community and you look around and you say, you know, this is where I want to live. This is the place I want to spend my time. This is where I want to raise my family. How do you get involved in the community? How do you make it better? And that's what drew me to Rotary. I joined Rotary when I was 27, 1982. I joined the Sacramento Club. Actually, I think my dad had joined before they let me. And, you know, it's funny when you think about why did somebody join Rotary. I mean, think about why you joined Rotary. You joined for the camaraderie. You've joined because people have a similar viewpoint. But above all, you join because you want to make your community better by serving with a group of people who also want to make their community better. I mean, you think about what Rotary's done around here. I can go to project after project and park after park and elsewhere where one Rotary club or another has put their hands on something and made it better. And that's what drew me to Rotary. And I will tell you an anecdotal story. It's true. Rotary's reach is much further and deeper than you realize. There's maybe, 1.2 million Rotarians around the world. Okay, so when I ran for Congress in 1990, I know years. And when I was in Washington leading up to that election, being a member of Rotary allowed me to establish my credentials with other members who had been in Congress to the point where they got comfortable with who I was. So one day in February of 1998, I'm in the halls of Longworth office building. I had my blue coat on and my brown slacks and my white shirt, my red tie and all that. I was carrying my briefcase. What I was doing was I was going from office to office to office, meeting different members of Congress that we had decided I needed to meet. Making my case that in that cycle, they needed to be on my side rather than anybody else's. So I'm standing in front of an elevator on the 4th floor of the Longworth House office building. There's nobody else. It's about 9:50 in the morning. There's nobody else in the building. Right? It's 1998. I'm standing there waiting for the elevator. If you've ever been in a Longworth House office building, you know the elevator is very slow. Like glasses and women. Slow. Well, I look up and there's one person walking in the hall. One guy. And he's walking towards me. And he's about, I'd say 65. And you know how 65-year-olds get when they're tired, they kind of lean forward to keep their momentum going and stuff. We don't know. I'm talking about spry 80-year-old. He's walking along, slowly working his way. I'm standing there at the elevator, and he comes up to me and he stops. And I don't know this guy. He stops. And he looks up at me, and I see his eyes kind of divert to my lapel. And back to my face. And he looks at me and goes, "What are you doing here?" I go, "Well, I'm visiting different offices and different members regarding my congressional candidates." And then he kind of looks at me again in the face. He looks at my lapel, looks back at me in the face, and goes, "You're a Rotarian?" Because I have my Rotary pin on. I go, "Yes." And he gets this big grin on his face. He goes, "I'm a Rotarian too. I got perfect attendance for 22 years. Where are you from?" So I tell him, I said, "Sacramento. I'm running in the spot with Vic Bezio's meeting." He goes, "I know Vic. He's a good guy. You Republican or Democrat?" I said, "I'm a Republican." He gets another big grin on his face. Good, so am I. And he says, "What did you say your name was?" And I hadn't. And so I introduced myself. He says, "Come with me." I mean, I've known this guy 40 seconds. He goes, "Come with me." I go, "I gotta go." He says, "No, you come with me." And you know how some people, you do what they say. So Congressman Hobson goes across the hallway, opens the door, it's unidentified, and goes like this. And we walk into his office. And we walk in and he goes, "Sit." I'm not a dog. Sit. So I sat. He sits down behind the desk and picks up the phone. And he goes, "This is Hobson. I want to speak to Newt." "Yeah, I'll wait." So about 10 seconds pass. And the speaker comes on the phone. He goes, "Newt, this is Hobson." Yeah. "Yeah. You know that person you introduced down in the conference this morning that you said was going to be the next member of Congress from Bezio's district?" Yeah. "Well, you're wrong. Because I'm sitting across my desk from him." Okay. All right. So he hangs up. Hobson had called Gingrich and said, "You're making a mistake. You need to see this guy." Gingrich had told Hobson, "Send him over to my political guy across the street. Have him talk to a guy named Joe Gaylord." I mean, 3 minutes has now passed. Okay? In my entire political career. So Hobson hangs up the phone with Gingrich, turns to me and says, "Go down to the street. Go to that white building over there. Go to the 2nd floor. Talk to Joe Gaylord. Tell him that Hobson spoke to Gingrich and sent me over." Hey, you got it? Okay, repeat it back to me. No, I didn't. So anyway, go downstairs, across the street, up the 2nd floor, in what I came to know as the National Republican Congressional Committee office building, and found a guy named Joe Gaylord. My introduction to Joe Gaylord was this voice, 2 doors down, yelling at the top of his voice, "You're the stupidest blankety you have no chance of getting elected, and you're wasting my time. I mean, it's just my law. So I'm kind of going, oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, Dave Ortovich got off the phone. I walked into his office. I sat down, and he goes, what are you doing here? Well, Hobson sent me over and told me to tell you that Gingrich told him to tell me to come see you. So Gaylord goes, I have no idea what you said. I think you're here because Gingrich said to come over here. And I said, yes. I said, and he goes, Hobson sent you. I go, yes. He goes, what district are you in? I'm running in California's 3rd district for the Fazio seat. He said, we already have a candidate in that race. And I said, well, now you've got 2. And he said, Hobson spoke for you? Yep. He didn't ask me any other questions. He said, at that point, he turned to me and he said, Speaker of the House of Representatives will not be taking sides in your primary. Thanks for coming by. Get out of my office. But that was exactly what we wanted to hear. Because leadership had been lining up with all sorts of different candidates in anticipation of this person or that person being the chosen one. Well, on the basis of Hobson sitting me over there, all of a sudden the speaker had told everybody, sit it out. Let them figure it out in the district. And you know why that happened? Because my little Rotary men was in my hotel. That's the reach of Rotary. And that's a true story. So, back to my initial premise here. Why do you join Rotary? You join Rotary because you want to affiliate with people who want to make their community better. Right? And I don't care whether you're talking about, in that case I just related to politics or a public park. That's what you're after. So that the people that you live with, your neighbors, your family, your extended family, your fellow Rotarians, can go someplace, understand that it's safe, it's clean, it's enjoyable, it's affordable, and know it's going to be the same tomorrow, the day after that, and on into the future. So, at Gibson Ranch, in September of 2010, the County of Sacramento closed the park the day after Labor Day. The county had come to the point where they had no money to run the park. The fiscal situation had just worn them down where they had to make some tough choices. And over the ensuing 7 months, I talked to them over and over and over, and eventually persuaded them to lease that park to me. Now, the terms of the lease are very simple. I pay them $1 a year, and I pay all the expenses. I get all the revenue. If there's profit, they get half the profit at the end of the day. That's it. Now, my concern was that over the ensuing 20 years, the county had not done much deferred maintenance. Frankly, they hadn't done much maintenance of any kind. So before we started, I negotiated with the county that they would spend up to $100,000 a year reimbursing me for corrections to the deferred maintenance that accumulated over all those years. And they agreed. The reason they agreed was that they were already budgeting $213,000 a year to keep the park closed and spending $100,000 a year with me to reimburse me for fixing the problem, left them $113,000 ahead of where they otherwise would be. Now, the Sacramento PD thought that was a bad idea. Go figure. However, logic and common sense prevailed. On April 1st of 2011, my team and I took over operations of the park. We started with nothing. The grass was knee-high. The garbage hadn't been removed since September, the day after Labor Day of the previous year. There were 27 homeless men residing in the park. The bathrooms hadn't been cleaned. Some of the roofs leaked. The cabins hadn't been occupied for years. The lake was filled with algae. The fish were all dead, floating belly up on the surface. The playground equipment was all in tatters, shambles. You know, the cable that the county used, when you pull out of here, there's a cable along the road. It's It goes from 6x6 to 6x6 to 6x6, designed to keep cars from driving into the grass. The cable in the park has all been stripped out and recycled by who knows whom. So starting on April 1st, we began trying to change 4 tires at 60 miles an hour. We've been open every single day since. And the county of Sacramento hasn't spent a single dime on daily operations since that time. They met their obligation on reimbursing me for correcting deferred maintenance. And what we've done on deferred maintenance is we've refurbished the 8 cabins that are there and put all the interior furnishings in. And now we rent them out for $50 a night. And they're full. We redid the clubhouse, the ranch house, and now it does about 40 weddings a year. We mowed the grass, and we fixed the sprinkler system so the grass could survive in the summer, spring, and fall, not just the winter. We reinvigorated the equestrian facility, so now we got about 55 horses that board out there every month. Privately owned horses that board at the county facility. And again, we're open every day. Now, on April 1st, our revenues, our annual revenues, April 1st, 2011 was zero. Zero. Right? Today, our annual revenues are approaching $500,000 a year. Since April 1st of 2011, we've had over 250,000 visitors come to the park. And we charge them the same price today as the county charged when they decided to close the park, which is $5 a car. My point in bringing this all to your attention is that more government is not necessarily the answer to all of our problems. There are things government does well, or that are necessary for government to do. There are things that government doesn't do well, and doesn't do well. And operating that regional park is one of those things that I don't think local government needs to be involved in. What are we going to do in the future? What do we got going forward? Well, let me share with you the kind of things. We have taken that park from 0 weddings to around 40 weddings this year. We make about $2,000 on each wedding. All right, so that's $80,000 in revenue. We took the 8 cabins that hadn't been, they had no attention for 10 years, 20 years, and they've been closed for at least 5. We brought in new furnishings, we repainted them, we installed air conditioners, we fixed the bathrooms, and like I said, now we get $50 a night when people come out and stay. We have a monthly yard sale up in the front pasture. And it's interesting, I mean, in Carmichael this might not be the case, but there are individuals out in Rio Linda, Alberta, who are really living on the edge. And in some cases, the only income they get is by doing yard sales week after week after week. So we provide a venue where they can come and do that. We charge $10 per space. We don't compete with them. We provide a bathroom, security, and what have you. We also have, my daughter has created a quarterly tack sale. Tack is the equipment that you use on your horse, like reins and bridles and girths and all that stuff. She's gone from 12 vendors to 29 vendors, and in September she expects to have over 50 vendors. We're on the edge of, opening the park up for RVs, where you can actually hook up with power and water, and there's a dump station, so on your way out you can unload your tanks, so you're not hauling the wastewater or gray water with you as you go to the next spot. All of these things are totally generated by us because we are totally accountable for whether or not our revenues cover our costs. If we don't sustain that part, if we don't create the programs that draw the people, that generate the revenue, that allow me to pay the expenses, then it comes out of my pocket. We've gone from losing about $120,000 in the first year to about $80,000 in the second, to about $60,000 in the third, 4th year, and we're losing about $1,400 a month. So you can see, for those of you who have ever owned real estate, this is just like going to an office building. You just keep gathering tenants and putting them into space until the building is full. And you hope to do it. You hope to do it as quick as you can, so your revenues cover your costs. But that's exactly the way we approach it. At the end of the day, the story is, the park is open when it was closed. The county is $100,000 a year ahead of where they otherwise would have been. The park is properly maintained, properly operated, offering a significant number of new and different programs in response to public demand. Think of that. What a concept. Run it like a business. Figure out what the consumer wants and give it to them at a price they can afford. Now, I will tell you, I know Rotary's rules. So I'm going to leave you with one anecdotal story that I'll be happy to take questions. I was out there in August of 2013 working the booth. So there's not a job out there, not a single job. Cleaning the bathrooms, unplugging the sewers, trimming the trees, mucking stalls. There's not a single job out there that I haven't done since we took over. The reason is, if I can do it, so can the people I hire. And if I can do it, I know how it needs to be done right. So you better do it right, or I'm going to give you direct supervision so you do it right. Right? It's just like in every one of your businesses. So, my point here is that private management using private capital can address many of the problems that we face locally, at the state level, or at the federal level. The reason I chose to run for federal office, the deciding straw on the back of the donkey, was that one day I was out there working the kiosk, working with the people coming in, just to come in and enjoy the park. This young couple pulls up in an old vehicle. Mom and dad and 2 kids in the back. The kids were like 6 and 8, 5 and 7, somewhere in there. It was about the 28th of August of 2013. And I literally hadn't decided to run for office. And this young man pulls up to the kiosk, and he goes, "How much is it?" It was $5. He goes, "All right." He stops his car, turns it off, opens the door, gets down on his hands and knees, and starts scrapping around on the floor of his vehicle for nickels and dimes to pay the entry fee to get into the park. That's so irritating that in the United States, in the year 2013, this young couple is scrapping around on the floor of their car to pay the lousy $5 to get into a park. How can the United States of America have come to that point? And I decided I'm going to violate Rotary's rules here. I decided at that point that I was going to go do something, or at least try. And that's why I'm running for Congress. And I'd be happy to answer the questions you have. So thank you for listening. That's a great question. The question is, how did I go about getting my crew? I had a work day on March 26th of 2011. So the county said, sure, you go in there beforehand, but you got to get waivers from everybody. So I just put out the work amongst the people I knew out in Elbert Real. And I said, come on down, help me out. Well, this young woman shows up, Stephanie LaFazia. She was 24 at the time. She did the work with like 6 people. I mean, literally. She was pushing the mowers and hauling the garbage and trimming the trees. I mean, all the young men, she was putting all the young men to shame. So I figured out who her dad was, and I went over and talked to him. I said, I introduced myself. And I'd like to talk to your daughter about coming to work for me to manage this place. He goes, well, you can't talk to her because she works for me. She's my crew manager on my concrete pouring company. She's running the crews pouring concrete around the community. So anyway, we kept talking for a while, and interestingly enough, it turns out that he knew who I was. I didn't know who he was. He knew who I was because his wife and I graduated from high school the same year at the same high school, Lori Hamilton. So anyway, I finally just kept after him and kept after him, and he finally said yes, you can go talk to my daughter. So I hired Stephanie. Took me about a month and a half. Then we hired another guy to help us with the crews on the maintenance of the grass areas. Then we hired a guy to help us with the janitorial, and we just built the crew. Just she and I. She's responsible for it. She's the one who makes payroll. She's the one who hires and fires. She's the one who enforces the rules. She's accountable to me. She runs the place. Yep, and they're largely, it's about half kids under 25, and half 25 to 50. So it's a really good mix, and they work hard. So, and they do a good job.
Yeah, I have a question, and I'm sure that you shared this with us several years ago. When you first ran for Congress years ago, you just worked your butt off. You went door to door and meet all the fire chiefs, and you did get elected. And again, you worked your butt off. Then you quit. Why did you quit?
The question is, why did I leave office at the end of 2004?
Yeah.
Because before I got elected in 1998, I told everybody I'd serve 3 terms and come home. I served 3 terms and I came home. And it wasn't about, interestingly enough, you get to a point where you have to confront that question. And all your campaign people say, we pulled this, we had a walkover, your parents say keep going, people understand, et cetera, et cetera. There's an audience of 2 people that made the decision for me on that question. My then 12-year-old daughter and my then 10-year-old daughter. And the lesson I was trying to teach them was, if you say you're going to do something, you have to do it. It doesn't matter whether you want to or not. So I came home. And while I appreciate your compliment, it was all about teaching them.
So what did you do in the meantime?
Since then,
Since you were out of the job.
unemployed. So when I left office, I went back doing what I always done, which is real estate development. I did projects in different parts of the valley. Helped out in the family business. About 4 years ago, I finally said, you know what, I'm tired of doing all the family business stuff. Find one of my siblings to do it. Dad, here's my key. You're on your own. And I left. So I've been doing my own stuff since. Back to where I started. Al?
Are you accepting political questions?
Yes. As long as they're consistent with Rotary's rules.
When you were in Congress before, why did you vote to deprivatize Social Security?
I didn't vote to. The question is, why did I vote to deprivatize Social Security? The answer is, I didn't vote to privatize Social Security. I voted to protect Social Security and give individuals additional options for adding to the Social Security benefits that they were going to get, like increased benefits under IRAs and SEPs and 401ks and what have you. So I think today, as I did then, the Social Security and Medicare serve a very important safety net purpose. But I don't think that's the only thing Americans should be allowed to invest in. I don't think they should be punished for adding to that menu or those options that are available to support you when you retire, or you get to where you're eligible for Social Security and Medicare. So I have not voted to privatize Social Security. I, in fact, have voted to supplement and buttress Social Security from its historically abysmal rate of return of 1.2%. Sideways, in-law and Mel would skin me alive if I voted to get rid of Social Security. Yeah.
In what ways do you differ from there?
I don't know Congressman Barrett very well. So that's a difficult question for me to answer. the speaker comes and says to you, or the majority leader or the minority leader comes and says to you, you will vote this way, I have the ability to say, I don't agree with that, but there's nothing you can do about it. I don't think Congressman Barra has that same ability. I think he is, in many cases, hostage to who his supporters have been, where that is not the case with me. It's just, you know, a lot of people think that my success is a detriment. I don't. I think it's the one bulwark that protects my constituents from me doing something I don't believe in.
Are there any other questions?
And Jay, I do not fight you